Welcome to Titan channel. This is our very first official vlog and it's about our vacation in northern Spain. So as some of you already know, me and Akla last week we have visited a city called Vitoria Gasteiz, or short Vitoria, and it's the capital of the Basque Country. Despite that it's the capital and it was founded in the 12th century, and there are many historical streets and there's an old town and there are traditional buildings. It is still a very youthful city, a very modern city. There's a lot of graffiti, a lot of art, street art, art monuments. So it's just really refreshing and also very atmospheric to go there. Every district, every street in this town has a totally different mood and atmosphere. And there are streets, for example, where there are mostly pubs and restaurants and where people just come to enjoy their evenings and have a glass of beer. And then right next to it are quarters that are absolutely calm, mostly living quarters where not a single soul is outside. And then there are other quarters where there are many parks and playgrounds and where you can see children during the whole day. We have experienced people there as being very helpful, as being very open-minded, as being very friendly, and whenever we had communication issues or whenever we would not understand something, there would always be somebody who would come to us and explain it to us or translate it to us. For example, if we would not understand something in the menu or when we would not understand the bus shuttle. So some of the sites that we have visited in Vitoria Gasteiz are the Santa Maria Cathedral and the Cathedral Maria Immaculada. And the Santa Maria Cathedral, it is a 13th, 14th century built Gothic church, and it owns a nave, core passages, chapel, and it is also a part of the town's defense system. You still can see some parts of the town defense system around the city. And then the other church, the Maria Immaculada one, was built upon a monastery, and it's a neo-Gothic church. It owns around 5 naves, an ambulatory and a crypt. And both of these churches, their floor plan resembles a Latin cross. So close to both of these churches is the Plaza Virgen Blanca, and it is one of the 2 main plazas in Vitoria. So for example, what you can see on this plaza, there's the name Vitoria Gasteiz, the name of the city, written in green huge capitals, and it's just a perfect spot to take pictures there. And also on the same plaza is a victory monument, a monument that reminds about the battle in which Vitoria Gasteiz won against Napoleon. So when it comes to food, a place that we recommend in Vitoria Gasteiz, it's a restaurant, and it's an Indian restaurant called Taj Mahal. And the prices there are very cheap, and the amount of food that you can get for the prices is really huge. And what we recommend to try there is definitely lamb korma. Also, Vitoria Gasteiz has many parks, as already mentioned, but probably the most famous one is Florida Park, and it's a 19th century French garden. Its paths are laid out in a sort of labyrinth, and there are many water sources, water fountains, a waterfall even, and it's just really beautiful there and very relaxing. There's also a musical pavilion, and it is just a perfect spot to take pictures. So for those of you who want to see more than just the typical sights of Vitoria Gasteiz, we recommend to do a longer walk and to see the Cider region Amentia. And there are many places where you can do sport activities like volleyball or soccer. Also, a nice thing about Vitoria Gasteiz is that Vitoria is locationally very close to other big cities like Bilbao or San Sebastian, and it's quite possible to just stay in Vitoria overnight and then go for the day and see the other cities that are more popular and have maybe more attractions. So we have made it to San Sebastian only later on in our vacation, but we were extremely grateful to get there. It's just a very beautiful seaside city with really beautiful sand beaches. And it has just everything to offer what a seaside city has to offer on attractions. Clubs, restaurants, promenades, surfing spots, museums, even an aquarium. We recommend the aquarium for families with children. It's really nicely made, and you can learn there mostly, of course, about fish, which is really nice because fish are just a huge part of our world. But you can also learn about history of pirates, the history of dinosaurs, or the history of ships, which is also really interesting for kids. Also, something very beautiful about San Sebastian is that there come many street artists and also artists that paint on the sand. So you can see sand art, and it's just really beautiful, especially when the sun goes down. When it comes to Bilbao, let's say we were a bit disappointed because just we experienced a lot of hype over the city online. And we thought, well, it must be really amazing as so many people are really fascinated about it. But in the end, what we found, it's just a very basic sort of industrial port city. It still has some beautiful places, and it's definitely worth a visit. A place that we recommend to visit in Bilbao is, of course, the Guggenheim Museum, and there are art monuments and sculptures around it, like the puppy or the spider, which are just perfect places to get photos done. Of course, if you don't have to wait in lines. In Bilbao, we recommend a restaurant called Monochrome, and the quality is extremely good. They offer a lot of regional food. And about regional food, we definitely recommend to visit the more expensive restaurants because there the quality is like good for sure. And it's also safer to avoid scams there. So now to our highlight and our most favorite spot that we have visited during this time. And it's a place that has a rather unknown name and a rather complex name. It's called Gaztelugatxe, but it's a very famous location because it was used as a location in a series in Game of Thrones. And so it's just very famous for being a famous location in the series. Of course, you can't see the castle there, but you can see the staircase. And also, it's just a very, very beautiful place due to the cliffs, the cliff formations, the sea. It's the northernmost point of Basque Country, especially where they're on a sort of rainy day. So it was all a bit in like fog, and it just gave a really mystical atmosphere, and it was just extremely beautiful. It is also a natural paradise because many birds come there to nest. Also, before we finish the blog, we want to give a shout out to our host, Miguel. We were just positively surprised. It was really a really good experience, and the service was extremely good. And yeah, Miguel is just a host who really cares about his guests, and he knows the city very well and is very helpful. So don't look for other apartments. If you want to go to Vitoria, go and check out his apartment. And yeah, I hope you're going to enjoy your stay in Vitoria Gasteiz. We can only say that it's worth to be visited, even if it's maybe not as famous as other cities or places in Spain. It is still Spain. It is a different sort of Spain, but it's really nice. It is really beautiful. It's very calm, it's very refreshing. It's the best place to actually make holidays and to refresh, to come back home with energy. So yeah, we are glad you shared the time with us in this video, and that you enjoyed it. And so yeah, hope to see you soon to the channel.